Thank you for tuning in to Mystic Clips Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Storm Collectibles World Heroes Perfect Fuuma. Today I'll be reviewing this figure in the following categories: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once those scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if this figure is a pass or a purchase. So I'm going to attempt to make this a relatively quick video, as I already reviewed Hanzo, which is essentially the same character. The only difference is the color and the three head sculpts that we get. It is essentially the Ryu and Ken concept. So for accessories, Fuuma comes with the same accessories that Hanzo comes with. The exception is the three different head sculpts, so man does he come jam-packed. So starting to my right, you get one of the moves that he does in his game, this translucent ninja star that's in this purplish color, which looks really good. You also get two effects from his blades, also done in a bit of a translucent plastic. There are a few colors that are in here. A red, you can definitely see some clear, and it appears to be just some silver shimmer throughout this. You receive two blades, and just like Hanzo, these are slanted. I'm really thinking they're meant to be this way, and it does have some paint on it. Not my favorite accessory that comes with the figure. And you get 4 pair of hands that are in total, 2 fisted, which are on the figure. Actually, let's take a look at this one. So I really like how the glove, the black of the glove, stops pretty much in the same space across the fingers. You do get a little bit of paint seepage, nothing to gripe about. You can see the scope of the the fingernails, and there's also some line work in the fingers. And now moving to the head, let's start with this one. So this portrait actually comes on the figure. This one may be my favorite. It's between this and one I'll show momentarily. And I just like the red in the hair. Doesn't appear to be any wash through it. It still looks very good. Just painted immensely clean. The eyes look good. Sliding that to the side, we get this sort of grinning face, and I like this one too. And then for the last sculpt, I don't care for the open mouth expressions with Storm Collectible. They just don't have enough emotion in them. So for accessories, I don't think it's much more. Oh, wait a minute, there is more. So last but not least, you get this massive dragon effect piece to assemble, and man, it is beautiful. Done in a combination of translucent colors. Oh my goodness, I am feeling this. You can even see the tongue. This is such an awesome accessory. Let's wait till we get to the functionality part. So for accessories, what more can you ask for? I'm going to give this figure a 10 out of 10. So for articulation, the head is able to look back about that much. It's able to look down. You do get rotation, good amount of pivot. Doesn't really shift back and forth. For the shoulder, always pop this off. It's able to go up about that much. It can rotate a full 360. You do have an upper bicep cut. Next point of rotation is all the way at the wrist, which is on a ball peg, so you can get it to go in any direction you need it to. The elbows are double jointed, bending in about this much, sort of stop because of the muscular tone. Putting the arms to the side, you do have a floating A and B portion, but it is very severely restricted due to this. So just using, we're just going to use the combination of 2. He's able to crunch forward about that much, backwards a lot more. You do get some upper movement, but again, it's restricted. You do get a good amount of pivot. Moving down to the legs, they're able to kick out about that much. Forward a good amount. Backwards even better amount. You do get upper rotation. Next point of rotation is at the boot. The foot is able to go down that much. Up barely any. It does rotate a very good amount inside and outside, and you also get a hinge at the toe, which is extremely tight. The knee itself is double jointed, bending in about that much. So for overall articulation, there is some limitations. I am going to give this figure a 7 out of 10. So for design, this thing looks fabulous. I already went over the head. I really like that what should we call this? This net sort of t-shirt underneath is a separate material. All the paint is where it should be. The white is very sharp and bright. Really like the flesh tone that's used. The silver for the forearm armor also looks good. It has a nice shimmer to it. And the white at the bottom of the shoe is painted exactly where it should be. And the gold that fixes in right in the middle of the white is painted super clean. So for design, I'm going to give Fuuma a 10 out of 10. So as far as being essential to your collection, I mentioned this earlier, the Ken and Ryu concept. So for some, I know Ryu may be more important than Ken in Street Fighter. However, Ken was one of my favorite characters. He was my favorite character, actually. And it's no different here with Fuuma and Hanzo. Two of the same, potentially, characters have the same moves. I feel that you can't have one without the other. So as far as being essential, I'm going to go ahead and give Fuuma a 10 out of 10. So for functionality, I'm going to move pretty quickly here. So there's definitely some limitation with the head. It doesn't look up as much as I would like it to. Now moving to the shoulders, I really like that this piece is able to get out the way. It is a soft goods. Now the part that concerns me is that it also has a soft good tab. I can see that deteriorating over time. So that's something that I would be very careful and mindful of. Quickly turning him to the back, he does have an area to where he's able to store both of his blades. Each fits in like that, and the other one fits in this side. All right, so that's something that I like a lot. Now going with the hands for a moment, as I'm pushing through this, as I essentially did this review with Hanzo, you take one particular hand here, you can place the blade with the slashing effect in there, and he holds it like so. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this hand. Pops off easy enough. This part is a separate piece, very soft. The peg is pretty large, so not difficult to get it on. Keyword is not difficult. Okay, so I have it on, and pretty much that's what it looks like. And don't remember exactly how it was, but you get the idea. I usually forget this part, so I'm going to do it now. As you can see, he stands perfectly fine on his own. Now, I also like that this is very pliable. It's able to move. However, it still restricts a lot of the movement within the torso. Now, coming to one of his other effect pieces, he doesn't come with a stand, so it's no way to hold this. You can port this. It's not supposed to go like this, but you can port this in a similar way. Yeah, you might have to take this off. I'm going to say that doesn't work, but it is a way that you can use it without the stand. All right, so I'm going to slide Fuuma to the side for a moment. Also, this is completely removable. If you're interested in seeing it, you need to take a look at the video or review I did with Hanzo. I'll make sure to put the description in the link below. So now the part that I am very interested in seeing is how does this measure up? So here you have 4 pieces. I believe each inner piece is marked. It is. If you can see that, that's the number 2, meaning that this is supposed to plug here. For those of you that watched the Hanzo review, you know that this didn't work. It did not plug in place. And I seem to be having the same challenges, so I'm going to go off camera for a moment and see if I can get this to lock. All right, so I was able to get the first 2 pieces to connect. So far, it's holding pretty securely. So now let's move with the 3rd piece. And as you can see, the number 3 is here. And the way I did it, I sort of just pushed in very hard and started to twist. And I'm going to go off camera for this. Okay, so same issue with Hanzo. This does not stay in place. I am turning. It's just not working. So I'm just going to move on to this part to see if this locks in any better. And you can sort of tell the way it goes as you can see the fins that are sticking up. So clearly it continues that with the fins just like this. And it's not really snapping in place. It's not snug, but it is holding. Done. So for overall functionality, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. So for pricing, I was able to grab this figure for $72 plus tax. So it was discounted, I guess a 1 or 2 day sale. I managed to find him cheaper than what he was. So I was very happy to score him for that price. However, the figure does come in at $90. Add in taxes, you're looking at close to $100. So for that price, is he worth the point of or the price of admission? He comes with some fantastic accessories. If you have Hanzo, you essentially seen this figure before. I don't know what it is for me. The red just really stands out, being that it's my favorite color. So I am sort of feeling him a little bit more than Hanzo. I also think the dragging effect piece done in that translucent yellow and orange does look better than the one that's in blue. Not to say that the one in blue doesn't also look fantastic. But just like Hanzo with the dragon effect piece, it doesn't work. The effect piece just not holds in place. And this is something that I've experienced with a few of my Storm collectibles, not just these two characters, but also with Sub-Zero. And that is very frustrating, especially being that this is such an awesome effect piece. So I don't know if I'm going to glue it, if I'm going to get some sort of tack to hold it in place, but this thing is fantastic. This is something that will command a price for $20 to $30. I would pay this much just for this accessory alone. So for pricing, I'm going to get straight to it. I'm going to give Fuuma a 7 out of 10. That should give Fuuma an overall Cliff score of 49 out of 60. So is he worth it? If you're collecting the World Series, the World Heroes, line, then of course he's worth it. I'm unsure of what character Storm Collectibles will go with next. I really hope it's either villain or female based, but we will see. So now, is this figure a pass or a purchase? It is a purchase, especially for the price point that I was able to grab him for. Okay, so here's Fuuma by itself. Here he is next to the Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman movie. And here he is next to the Masters of the Universe Origins Man-E-Faces. If you're wondering why I'm using these two figures, my son was playing with them and they're just lying around. All right, let's slide these two figures out of the way. Slide him over for a moment. Here he is next to the Marvel Selects Grey Hawk. Let's get that out of here. Let's put him back in the middle. Here he is with another ninja, the Hasbro Storm Shadow. And oh, it just sucks that you can't really put these two characters together, as the size is just not in scale. Here he is with another G.I. Joe ninja figure. All right, let's take them two out of the way, and let's place him next to the NECA movie. What was it, Super Shredder? And though the Super Shredder, see, this is weird. Though Super Shredder dwarfs Fuuma, I feel that you can put these two together and they would look all right. Like, they're more in proportion. The arms are pretty much the same size. The head is pretty much the same size. But these two are definitely not in proportion. Okay, I didn't know if I had a Storm Collectibles figure lying around, but I do. And here he is with, what is his name? Hamaru. So, thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. I hope to see you during the next review.